What's up, what's up? What's up, guys? NorbCam coming at you on this Monday following a crazy weekend of football. Wanted to take a moment here while I'm sitting outside my kids' ballet class, killing some time. I thought, why don't I kill some time with you all out there? Talk a little bit about this Seahawks game that we witnessed yesterday. What's up, everybody? For tuning in. Deadly Skills, John Bryan Legends Clips, Toxic Euro, Anthony D, Seahawks 12 JP, Daniel, Hawks Fan 89. What's up, Mason? Let's get into it a little bit. I'll be happy to try to answer some of your questions if I can keep up with y'all. I assume you guys all watched the game, or at least watched highlights and that sort of thing. Maybe watched some of my stream while I was freaking out at the end of that crazy game. Let's get right into it. Looking back, we won this game 16-10. Technically, it was an upset since the Rams were favored to win this one. My take on it is that we were lucky as hell to win that game, okay? We were lucky. We dodged. We were like Neo in the Matrix, dodging bullets left and right to win that game. Because we could have easily lost it with 8 seconds left. We could have lost it, or maybe had to go in overtime if there was a field goal attempt in there. Had Legatron not missed the field goal, which is very uncharacteristic for such a short field goal. The first touchdown, which the touchdown could have been that Earl Thomas knocked out of Gurley's hands with like not even a split second, but a frame or two of action, knocking that ball out. That would have been a totally different game. So yeah, easily the Rams could have, they had executed 1 or 2 plays, could have easily had won that game. But conversely, every close game in football, you could dissect any play and go, well, if we had done this, or if they had done that, or if this had happened, the game could have gone any number of ways. And that's going to always be the case when you talk about a closely contested game. And the same thing with Seattle. I mean, our defense, clearly without question, we dominated that game defensively. We shut down the #1 offense, kept Gurley to under 50 yards on the ground when he was flying, tearing it up as probably one of the best running backs in the game. Jared Goff was limited to 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, quarterback rating of like 40-something, and a percentage completion rate of under 50% as well. So the defense did their job. And so, but you could also say at the end, had that storyline would be totally different had the Seahawks given up that final score and they had gotten that touchdown to Cooper Kupp with a few seconds remaining. Can you imagine the storyline today? We would not be talking about how great our defense was. We'd be talking about how did the Seahawks defense blow it in the last 30 seconds of that game? Because they almost did, giving up 2 huge pass plays to let them even get close to the red zone, which would have been unforgivable had that happened. So, I guess my point in that is that in a game that close, yeah, we were lucky. Had we had lost, you could say the Rams were lucky. The fact that we won, we can say we were lucky, or they were unlucky. But that's going to always happen in every game. You can argue whether it's that we make our own luck, and that Earl Thomas play, that's not luck, that's actually making a play when you have to. So it's kind of open to interpretation. The bottom line is it could have gone either way. But that's what's exciting about these close games, is that it comes down to one play, one moment. And I think, to me, looking as a positive takeaway on all this is that the thing that really impressed me was how, Michael West, bend but don't break is completely they were bending like Gumby, man, and never broke. But I thought, the theme that I think is what's awesome is how they never gave up. And you can break it down to two plays that made the difference. I just brought up the Earl Thomas play where he did not give up. He could have easily just let up and let Gurley get around the corner and score that touchdown, but he didn't. Fought through just like he did 3 years ago and knocked that ball out of his hands, did exactly the same thing in the same part of the end zone. It was amazing. It was like an instant replay of what he did to the Rams before. And the other play was, which people don't really talk too much about it from what I can tell, is on the interception that Wilson threw, in 9 times out of 10, that's a pick 6. Because you give that guy that much of a jump and he's running down that sideline, he's normally gone. Most normal quarterbacks who are going to try to chase him down don't do it. But Wilson went on a full-on sprint. You can see him, he's running. He's taking an angle, determined not to let him get past him. Same with McKissick. He was also chasing him down. And the fact that those guys didn't give up and just let him go stopped them from getting a touchdown, a pick 6, and limited to just a field goal, which that would have changed the course of the game as well. So that was kind of the theme to me, is that when you play through and never give up, you do kind of make your own luck, and you are able to get the edge on those tiny little plays that do make a difference. So to me, that was kind of the overarching theme of the whole thing, is that we never gave up. They always played through, and those 2 plays in particular stood out to me. But that being said, overall defense performance aside, which was very dominating through most of the game, they kept after 9.5 minutes in the second quarter, the Rams didn't score another point. That means they shut them down for an entire half and over half of a quarter. So basically for 2.5 quarters, they were shut down completely, no points. That's pretty impressive considering what they'd done leading up to that point. However, there's a lot left to be desired. The offense still has not found their running game, and considering that this team is based on and predicated upon getting the running game going, that's a little concerning. Just no rhythm, no push on the offensive line. I think their pass protection has been improving. Wilson got harassed and sacked a lot, but it's been slowly improving from game 1. But we got to do better. We got to do better than that. So that's something they're going to keep working on. 3rd and long, yes, Michael West again. The 3rd and long give-ups was frustrating because we would stop them on 1st down, maybe even lose yards on 2nd down, and then 3rd and long they would break free, break that zone defense of ours, and find a way to somehow get the 1st down and keep the defense on the field. Luckily, again, we were bending and bending and bending, but never broke. But yeah. We were lucky in that regard, considering that we were bad on 3rd down, and we were horrible on 3rd down offensively, because with all those turnovers that the defense provided and that the Rams kind of gave to us on like the muffed punt, we really should have won that game by a lot more. If our offense was just able to do 1 or 2 things in the 4th quarter, the Rams shouldn't have even been in the discussion for a comeback. We should have had the ball and just finished it out and closed out the game, or we could have scored a touchdown, made it a 2-score game, but none of that happened. So a lot of things could have been better, and I think given the way the defense played, if our offense is just this much better, that game becomes like could have turned into the Indianapolis Colts game, where all of a sudden interception lead to a score, muffed punt turns into a score. We could have had that thing by 2-3 scores or more, but just didn't go that way. But that's a product of our offensive line, just not, just they're needing to get better. And that's probably sad. We're still talking about it 5 games into the season, but until they start showing an improvement, we're going to need that in order to have a shot down the road in the long haul. We got to get our running game going, bottom line. So we got the bye week, so it's good. We got to get a little healthy now. But it was good to see the other positives, seeing Jimmy Graham finally getting used. I've been saying it all along, just throw it up there and let him get it, and that's what they did. So Jimmy Graham is, slowly working his way in. Like everything, seems to just be slow out of the gates, and eventually they work their way into it. So lots of questions coming in here. Let me see if I can address some of them. They're coming in faster than I can even address. Joey Igo wants to know how my hamstring is going. My hamstring is doing better. Every day is a little bit better. I start some physical therapy tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe in about a month, I'll be back to normal, playing volleyball and doing all the normal stuff that I do. But even without that, I'm already walking, no crutches, feeling better every day. So thank you for asking. Mason Beneke wants to know, the Seahawks winning the division. Well, that win yesterday certainly gave us that much of an edge, because we are technically in first, and now we got the tiebreaker. We got the head-to-head win on the Rams. That means they got to try to beat us at home if they want to earn that thing back. So right now we got the edge, and so far we've beaten everybody in our division. I know it's only been 2 so far, but we got to take on the Cardinals, and you know, we keep doing that and take care of business at home, I think things are looking pretty good. So let's see here. Wilson is number 7 in quarterly MVP polls, says X-Typical Storms. When are you doing Ask One Truth 1010 wants to know when you're doing an Ask Norb video. Well, this is kind of an impromptu Ask Norb video, so you can shoot your questions. I'll try to answer them in the next few minutes. Dennis is just happy for the win. I got OG Millie Mills Rams fan still trying to say go Rams positivity. Hey, the Rams are good. I'm not gonna take anything away from the Rams. I think we did exploit them a little bit. That Jared Goff won, you know, he was flying high, but he hadn't faced a good defense yet. And we've seen now that he did face one, he's not as good as he had been against less potent offenses. So that's either just showing how strong we are on defense or how not so good he can be when he's under pressure or when he has a good secondary like what we got. So he definitely started showing a little bit of his inaccuracy down the line. The best plays by, except at the end they got a couple good long throws, but up to that point most of their best plays were short passes with runs after the catch. It's not very often you're going to beat Seattle on a long throw of 25 or more yards in the air. Usually you're going to get something to 5, 10, 5, 8 yard variety and run for longer. One True 1010, do I think still we'll lose to the Giants? Yeah, I can't believe now, after seeing how it all played out, the Giants, who were looking like Super Bowl favorites in the offseason, suddenly are looking like the worst team, possibly worse, doing worse than the Jets, and could be in the discussion for getting a #1 draft pick next year. They just looked horrible coming out of the gates, and now that their wide receiving core is completely decimated, I don't know what those guys are going to do. So Seattle should come back from their bye week healthy, go to New York and New Jersey, and take care of business big time with those guys. So yeah, I would be flipping my W or my L to a W on that one. Technically, I predicted 14-2 for this team. I realize that's a stretch right now. It was a stretch even before the season started, but technically it still could happen. 14-2. We'd have to go undefeated the entire rest of the way, which is, yeah, not without a running game, but technically it could still happen. Technically. Daniel says my Seahawks prediction video was dope but off. It was off, but like I said, it could still mathematically happen. We'll see. Norb, what will the Hawks finish with? Well, until we're not able to do 14-2, I'm going to stick to that 14-2, dang it. And then if we lose 3, I'm going to say 13-3. And if we lose 4, I'm going to say 12-4. How about that for an answer? Cover my butt on every single one. Let's see. Alex Richards, in school I get bullied because I'm a Seahawks fan. My school is in Missouri, so Chief fans. Yep, it's tough to be a Hawks fan in other parts of this country. I feel for you. I'm spoiled being up here in the Pacific Northwest where obviously, you know, we are surrounded by Seahawks fans, and even other areas where you can be surrounded by Seahawks fans without even necessarily living in Seattle. But stay the course, man. Just stay true to your team. I know it's tough to do, but just go for it. Deadly skills. Eddie Lacy going to be any good? That's a puzzling one. You know, I've been a Thomas Rawls backer ever since he had his first rookie season with us, until he hurt his ankle. I always thought he'd come back and pick up where he left off, and that hasn't happened yet. Chris Carson won me over this year like he did everybody else when he got the starting role, but then after he got hurt, I thought, okay, here's Rawls' chance to get back in there and do his thing. And strangely, they gave Lacy more carries than Rawls, and I don't really get that because I just don't see it with Rawls. I mean, neither back really, you know, stood out and took command of the game. But with Rawls, it's like, unless there's a big hole right there, he just doesn't have the speed to break free. And so he's just got to have, you know, he might break a tackle or, you know, at the line or two, but he just doesn't have the breakaway speed. So I don't know. I'm hoping Rawls will get his chance, and you know, he and McKissick is great. Well, I love the guy. He's great on special situations, fast as hell, great out of the, like a pro size, great in catching the ball out of the backfield, but he's not a first down, run between the tackles kind of guy. So to me, it's like, Rawls, and then Lacey, the only two guys that can do it. So I hope he can figure out what's up. And I don't know what the team is seeing that we don't see, but I just would like to see Rawls get a little more touches. Joy Igo, thoughts on Philly? Philly, well, they put the beat down on the Cardinals big time yesterday. I don't know if it's how great the Eagles are or how crappy the Cardinals are turning out to be. I mean, I've always been saying that the Cardinals were reaching a tipping point where I felt like they're just a few weeks, months away from finally turning that corner where they're going and dropping. I think they finally hit that point. And losing Johnson at the beginning of the year was a death blow to the Cardinals. I'm sorry, but he's the engine that made that motor run, or made that team run. And without him, that's just losing a whole facet of the team's offense. And without him, I mean, Palmer, that line is just getting Palmer killed. Can't take that beating. He's getting hit the most out of this entire season, and he's not going to be standing if he keeps getting beat up like he is. So I just don't see it with the Cardinals turning it around. And that said, the Cardinals, even if in the midst of a crappy season, they for some reason always play us hard. Like last year, we didn't beat them at all. We tied them and we lost to them. So I'm not going to say that they're an easy cakewalk, but we ought to be able to take care of them, considering the way they're looking so far. But Eagles look pretty dang good. Carson Wentz having a really good second year. Got weapons around him now. Running game with LeGarrette Blount. And a heck of a special teams returner too. So they're going to be pretty scary. But, they do come into CenturyLink, have to play us here. And it's a whole other deal when you're not playing at home. So they've had not much luck playing at CenturyLink Field. That's one thing I give my edge to my team for. Let's see, who else we got? Sam Ranger, do I play fantasy? I do not play fantasy. I've been this close to jumping in, but I just don't have the time to put into it. I know I'd get addicted, so I'd be in trouble. So, Oak Brothers Gaming, is McDowell still injured? That's the $1 million question. That's the first round draft pick question, or first draft pick, number one draft pick question. Pete Carroll was asked about that in one of his press conferences, and he said there is a chance that he could still come back and play. It sounds to me like it's a pretty serious head injury situation. So, I don't know if it's like a serious concussion thing, but they've been given no timeline as to whether he's, seriously in the possibility of coming back and playing. People forget how much of a blow that is, especially now that we're having injury issues with Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett, because without him in there, I mean, he was meant to be our number one. Sheldon Richardson sort of was brought in to kind of replace him, not being available. But now that we're having these other injury issues, we're really missing this, what we spent a number one draft pick on, the guy who's not even around. So I hope he can come back and contribute this year. It would be great, but who knows? They're just not talking about it, which is never a good sign. Thoughts on the Chiefs? Ex-Typical Storms wants to know. Chiefs, well, they're off to a good start, 5-0, looking pretty solid. All I can say, I don't watch a lot of the Chiefs, but man, it seems to me that if there's ever been a team and a coach that starts hot in the regular season and then peters out in the posts, is Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Andy Reid even before the Chiefs, when he was with the Eagles. But historically, those guys always have good regular seasons. And it's not the first time we've seen the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs went undefeated a few years ago. They were like 9-0 or something. They had a really hot start and then faded in the end. So I don't know, maybe this is the year they get over the hump where they actually get past the first round. But it's kind of like we'll have to wait and see. They do look good right now, pretty solid, but it's can they keep it going on and close out the season and make the playoffs and actually do some damage. But yeah, they're pretty solid right now. And Alex Smith, long-time veteran, doing pretty well with this team. So, you know, kudos to the Chiefs, you know, considering the fact that we don't have to worry about playing them. I'm okay with them doing what they do. So, yeah, we'll kind of see how it continues to go. Sam Ranger, our running game is gone. Our running game is gone until Carson and Procise get healthy again. Agree or disagree? Well, if that's the case, then we're in big trouble because Carson is not going to be available till probably close to the end of the season, maybe with a week or two left. You know, if we have to wait till then for our running game to get going, we're going to be in trouble. So we're going to have to. Someone's going to have to step it up, and maybe it's Procise, but Procise seems to be just, I don't know, glass ankles or something, man. That guy just cannot stay on the field, and that's just not good. So I got my money on Rawls McKissick to be the new unexpected duo to come out of here and start making some things happen. But we'll see. Right now it hasn't shown itself, but maybe it's just a slow boil. It's just got to get rolling, and maybe that will finally take off. Deadly Skills, thoughts on Darrell Bevell? Every time we have a bad game offensively, people would love to always say, let's fire the offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevell. You know, I go back and forth on the fence on that one, because there are times when I'm thinking, man, you know, whose fault is it with this offense? You know, is it Tom Cable in the offensive line? Is it just bad talent acquisition in the line? Is it the play calling? Is it Russell not executing the play that was given to him? You know, is it the running backs? Are they not finding the holes? Are they not cutting back when they should be? You know, that's the problem is we as armchair quarterbacks and regular people, we don't know what's really supposed to happen. Like there was one play, if you guys were watching at the game, where it was at when was it? Oh, end of the half, when we had to settle for a field goal. We were moving, and then we had a timeout left. We were down like at the 20-something or 30-yard line, and on a play, 94, Robert Quinn just went around the edge untouched. It looked like Odiombo wasn't even looking to block him, and at the last second he's like, oh crap, here he comes, and just nailed Wilson, lucky enough to get a fumble. But you look at that and my first thought is, oh, Odiombo screwed up. But maybe that wasn't even his guy. Maybe that was the running back. Maybe it was Russell's fault. But unless you're in the room, you don't really know who to point fingers at, you know what I mean? So when you're trying to cast blame, do you go, you know, automatically assume, oh, left tackle screwed up, but maybe it was not even his responsibility. So without knowing all that information, it's hard for us to really judge whose fault it is. So it's the same thing with, like, you know, when offense play doesn't work. Maybe the play call was brilliant and it was just the execution, you know, because there are times when people love to throw Darrell Bevell on the bus when things aren't working out, but when something goes well and they have a good drive like they did to get that touchdown to Jimmy Graham at the end of the in the first quarter, or was that second quarter? Nobody jumps and does cartwheels and say, yeah, Darrell Bevell, what a great series he called, you know, but you got to give him credit too if he does something good. So that's the problem, is sometimes that people are so busy only putting the blame but not giving the credit. So I guess I'm not completely ready to just do the fire Bevell thing, but I don't know. I guess depending on the end of this year, he's been with us for a long time, and it feels like if the same result keeps happening, I have to start wondering if we need to change there. So I'm going to reserve judgment, not going to put blame on him yet at this point. Blake Clark, looking at the first 5 weeks, do you think we can beat the Giants and the Cowboys, even though you said we'd lose in your prediction song? Well, clearly my prediction video was off from the get-go, though I think we could have beaten the Packers, had a call or two gone our way, much like the Rams game. If one or two things gone the other way, it could have gone the other way. But that point is, I think that those losses I gave us, those teams look very beatable now. Like I said, the Giants look extremely beatable. And even the Cowboys, man, after seeing what's happening to those guys with 2 losses in a row now, Cowboys look a lot more vulnerable at home than I would have thought them to be. So I think our chances are pretty good. So I'm willing to swap those 2 losses and give the ones that we got, the loss against the Titans and the Packers, which means we could still be 14-2. So I'm sticking by that. You know what I'm saying? When is Monday Night Football for the Hawks? Oh, baby, that's when we play the Atlanta Falcons. I believe that's in November. That's going to be a great game. Great revenge game. Big hype. I expect both of our teams to be flying pretty high at that point, battling out for NFC playoff seeding. But yeah, I can't remember the exact date. It's in November though. But we play the Falcons. London Bridge. Who would you rather face, Rodgers or Brady? Well, right now, if you're asking me, would I rather face the Patriots or the Packers, I'd say right now the Patriots look a heck of a lot more vulnerable right now. Their defense is not so good. Brady's taking a lot of hits. They just don't seem to be on track right now. I feel like they will get on track, but right now the hot team is the Packers. They're pretty solid with Rodgers right now. I give the edge to him at this time. That could change, though, by the end of the year. Just like I think the Seahawks, that situation could change, too, once we get to the end of the season. Like I said, there's people, you know, I see a lot of these NFL posts. Oh, are the Seahawks Super Bowl contenders? You know, it's a stupid question to ask 5 games into the season. Nobody's really, everybody's a contender, technically, unless you've lost 5 games in a row. But you're not playing your best football. And I don't think we're playing our best football, and I think our best football is coming up. So we will be a lot better in 2 months than we are right now, and I think we will be Super Bowl contenders in 2 months when we have like a 10-2 record or whatever, you know. So I think it's gonna look very different. So I think we're going this way, where other teams are going that way, and that's what only time kind of shakes the things out. But yeah, Joy, like you said, KC maybe is the only team that looks impressive right now, but it's really hard to tell which is the really good team. I thought it was going to be Oakland. Those guys have dropped a couple games now, looking bad, and Derek Carr injured. I thought it was going to be the Falcons, and you know they suffered a loss last week, surprisingly. You know, the Patriots not looking so strong. The Packers had a little rough moment in there, but they're looking pretty good. But you know, it's anybody's chance right now. Ashton Lacuna, what's up? Anthony D said his favorite food, avocado, is no good in his fridge. Don't you hate that? First world problems, baby. Andrew DeLuna, if you could pick any player from another team to come to Seattle, who would it be? Well, you'd want to pick the best lineman in the world and put him in your team. I'd take, at this point, the first one jumps out, Joe Thomas from the Browns. Boop, plop him in there, left tackle, let's go. You know, and that would, I mean, feels like that would solve a lot of issues just like that. Suddenly, our running backs would look great. Suddenly, Wilson's making all these great throws because he's got all this time. I was watching Cam Newton standing back there for like 5 seconds, just looking around, slide over here. Oh, God, they hit him in the back, in the back of the end zone. Wilson's like, snap. Oh, under pressure. Oh, you know, it's like got 2 seconds before he's got to do something. It's crazy. Martin Huerta, stop ignoring me. I will not be ignored, Norb. Any thoughts on the Denver Broncos defense? I haven't watched a ton of them yet, but Broncos defense has been pretty solid, especially at home. I mean, I think they can still sneak in there, and you know, the AFC West was looking invincible for a while, but now the Raiders have kind of fallen off, so now it's back to the Chiefs and the Broncos basically kind of leading that charge. You know, if KC slips a little bit, the Broncos could easily slide in there and take that division back. So right now, so everything's still tight. You know, if you're 3-2, 4-1, I mean it's 1 game difference. So plenty of time for things to still shake out. We're only in the first quarter of the lap. We're just getting started. We still got the final turn and the home stretch coming. Thoughts on Jacksonville? Joey Igo. That's actually them and the Jets. New York Jets. Man, are they like tied for first place? Who saw that coming? We all thought they were going to flush their season away on purpose. And here they are near the top of the AFC West, AFC East, contending with this. Should have been, you know, dead on a rival team, and they're looking pretty good. You know, Dolphins not looking good. Bills were looking pretty good there, kind of hanging in there, but Jets surprising upstarts in the division. We'll see if they can hold it on. Martin Huerta wants to Oh, another Chrysostom request. Let's see what I can do.
Hey, what do you want? My team sucks. 49ers going down the tubes. But get that #1 draft pick. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Stadium sucks. Cost over $1 billion. Nobody watches. And anybody who's there, all they do is watch some of the first half, then they go drink wine at the second half. Pathetic. Bad time to be a 49er fan. I miss Kaepernick and Harbaugh. Those are the good old days. Those are the good old days. Oh well. We're doomed. Bye.
Thank you, Chrysostom, for that amazing insight. Deadly Skills, thoughts on Marshawn Lynch? Well, he's kind of doing, I think, what we kind of expected him to do. We never expected him to suddenly become this 100 yards per game, 25 carries type guy like he was with the Seahawks. I don't know if they're just not using him enough, or maybe they're using it as much as they can get out of him. He did score a touchdown yesterday, a little 1 yard or 2 yard run. But that's kind of what he's going to be, you know. I just think those running backs, look at Adrian Peterson, man. I mean, it's sitting on the bench more than he's doing anything productive. So, yeah, I mean, the hype over Marshawn Lynch being, you know, playing on the Raiders, I think that was going good for the preseason, the first couple of games. But, again, you start losing games, the whole polish of the car starts to dull a little bit. And so unless they can get some wins going here and some amazing runs, Raiders could be in some trouble if they don't get it going. Thoughts on the Bills? Do you think they have a chance to win the division? Well, they got a good quarterback there. You know, I think Tyrod Taylor's pretty good. He can give any team fits. You know, Russell Wilson-esque. Actually, I think he's a little faster than Russell Wilson. They just kind of have to put the whole thing together. So, yeah, we'll see. That East is it's a tough division because somehow the Patriots are always going to end up there, back on top. I don't care what they look like right now. It's they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way to steal that thing. They always do. D-Rye, Norb, are you outside your house in your car doing the stream? If so, that's awesome. No, I'm actually not outside my house. I'm in my car. I'm down here just outside my daughter's ballet class, waiting. Let's see what time it is. I'll make sure I don't miss her. Waiting for a class to finish, so I thought I got some time to kill, so why not kill time with you guys? So, what time is it anyway? Someone tell me when it's like 6 o'clock, so then I have to go. Oh, 10 minutes. Got 10 minutes left. All right. Joey Igo, what game do you recommend me to go to? You mean what Seahawks game this year to go to? Ooh, there's a lot of good ones. Number one would definitely be that Atlanta Falcons game. Like I said, that's at this point shaping up to be the game of the year, if all things play out correctly. And then all the division games are going to be good as far as Rams coming to town. I mean, that should be good because the way that first game played out, I'm sure the Rams are going to want some revenge. Cardinals, you know, it's always hyped up when they come to town. So those three. Dallas will also be a good one if you can get down to Dallas. But they're all pretty exciting. They're all pretty exciting. Even that Redskins game with the Redskins coming to town is going to be a good one. Redskins not doing as well as I thought they might, but you know they still got a shot at it. But right now it's Philadelphia's division to lose right now. So Philly. Oh, and the Philly game. Can't forget the Philly game. My gosh, that's turned out to be pretty titanic in terms of ramifications and all that with the hot start the Philadelphia Eagles have got. But yeah, no, that's good. Redskins do have a tough schedule. Nick Alvarez. One time I actually went to a Hawks game. You weren't there. Are you talking about down in LA, right? I was supposed to go, but because of my injury and my doctor advised me not to travel, he said, you know, because of apparently susceptibility to blood clots in an injury like that is very high. It suggests I not travel, so that's why I didn't end up going. And as it turns out, probably the reason we won that game is because I didn't travel to LA. First time not to go to LA Rams game. First time in 4 seasons. They lost every time. I don't go, and they finally win. So I don't know. People are telling me, Norb, don't go to more away games because I'm bad luck. They may be right. 0-8 since Super Bowl 48. Crazy, huh? Matthias Weeby. Norb, what's up after football? What's your favorite sport to watch? After football, it's a slow death in the sports watching world. I don't know. I'm not a big NBA fan. Obviously, the Sonics taken from us has killed my joy of watching the NBA. So I guess I look forward to baseball season. We've got our Mariners. Had high hopes for those guys that maybe they could finally squeak into the playoffs. Didn't happen. So I just gotta, they start the season up, and you gotta go, okay, maybe this year. But I'm not a hockey fan. I'm not a soccer fan. I'm not a basketball fan. I've kind of been limited down to like basically football and baseball. So yeah, I guess a little slow. But I love volleyball. I love to play it. My daughters play it, so I love watching volleyball, playing volleyball. So that's kind of my other side thing. It's not really pro sport, but I love the game. So I watch college sports. Oh yeah, UW is my team. I don't have my UW paraphernalia on me right now, but what's up, Marshawn Lynch? Beast mode. Congratulations on the touchdown yesterday. The football scene here in Washington is pretty exciting with the Cougars and the Huskies undefeated. This Apple Cup is shaping up to be one hell of a game in November. So we'll see what happens there. If these two teams can maintain these undefeated records, it's going to be one of the biggest Apple Cups in the history of Apple Cups. Slim Shady 205. What road games are you going to go to, Norb? Well, I had just planned to do the Tennessee game and the Rams game, but as I said, I had to cancel my Rams trip, so I'm keeping it open as a possibility. I haven't been to 49ers to Levi Stadium yet, so I'm thinking about that one. Just going to be an easy trip to go to. But if I were to choose a big one to go to, I would love to go to Dallas and see a game over there. Something tells me it'd be a little easier to get a ticket in Levi Stadium, don't you think, than in Dallas? But it'd be a heck of a lot more interesting environment to see what that stadium's like. So we'll see. We'll see. James Taylor, cancel them all. Huskies win Apple Cup 41-21. Oof, I don't know about that. 3 scores. That's pretty crazy, man. What else we got here? Some Cougars fans, some Huskies fans in here. When Seattle gets an NHL team, will you be watching hockey for once? Nick Alvarez. I've got a buddy up here who's a huge hockey fan. He's been telling me if I start watching hockey, I'm going to get addicted and I'll fall in love with the game. I don't know. I'd have to go and see it. I've been to a Sounders game, and I just couldn't get into it. I mean, it was fun. It was a fun game. It came down to the wire, but it was cool when the Sounders won the MLS Cup and everything. I was excited for that. Shootouts are cool, but I don't know. I just don't really understand the game. I would rather watch a hockey game than a soccer game, though. I mean, at least it's smaller arena. Action is much more faster, so I think I would have to choose hockey over soccer. I don't know. I'd give it a try. Rafael Guzman, do another skit. Got skits planned, overdue for some Rivals videos, so there's some coming. Getting on it. Here's a random rebel. What is the most impressive Seahawks play you have ever seen? Well, this might be cliche, but that Beastquake run, Marshawn Lynch in the 2010 season when we played at home in the wild card against the New Orleans Saints. Hard to top that amazing run. I wish I was doing my videos back then. I wasn't taping myself in the reactions at the time. I would have loved to have had that game. But man, that run at that time of the game was so awesome. And that was a great moment. Of course, the comeback against the NFC Championship game against the Packers was pretty awesome too. So I mean, that one probably just as a series of things happening one after another was hard to top. That's the greatest moment, or greatest game in Seahawks history. But the beast mode moment, I think, so unexpectedly, how that just happened out of the blue, is probably the one that just sort of caught you by surprise, as opposed to the Packers game. It felt like this one thing was rolling and one miracle, and then the next and the next. You just felt like it was coming. But the beast mode run was probably by itself just like lightning out of a bottle. All right, getting close to time here. A couple more questions. What hurt more, Super Bowl 40 or Super Bowl 49? 49. Oh, 49 for sure. Just because 49 felt like it was self-inflicted. 40 was more aggravating because it felt like the refs stole it from us. In 49, it felt like we stole it from ourselves. And I'll never get over that game. I got over Super Bowl 40, but I'll never get over Super Bowl 49. Even if we win 10 more championships, I'll still be thinking we should have had 11. You know what I'm saying? Joy, what's my favorite away stadium? Gotta be MetLife, baby. Watching Super Bowl 48 and watch us win that, I have nothing but happy feelings being in MetLife and everything about that stadium. Always will be forever etched in my brain as one of the happiest places on earth, next to Disneyland. So, yes, D-Rye, thank you for letting me know it's 5:59. My clock says 5:58, but close enough. Last question. We want the ball, we're going to score. 2003 in the Packers. Anthony D, do I ever listen to Christian music? Not really my style. Not really my style. Sorry. I'm not against it. It's just not really something I'd tune into. Last one. What do I think about the Steelers? Matthias Weeby. Well, they kind of stunk it up to the Jaguars this past weekend, shockingly, in not good fashion. 2 pick sixes, no touchdowns in that game. What was it, 30-9 or something like that? That's bad. And I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are actually better than people give them credit for, and we got to remember that when we go down there to play them. But yeah, the Steelers, I don't know, expected a little bit more out of those guys. That could have just been one bad game, though. You know, every team's gonna have a bad game somewhere. Hopefully, we don't have one like that. Hopefully, we already had our bad game. But yeah, I don't know. As Ben Roethlisberger said, I don't know. Maybe I don't got it anymore. Maybe it's time. And I don't feel bad for him at all. Bad memories from him. Super Bowl 40. Anyway, I gotta go. Kids coming out. Time's to go. Thank you guys for joining with me. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Just click right over here and share, thumbs up, like my video and all that good stuff. And yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in and spend some time with me. We'll talk some more football here and during the bye week, catch up on some things. But yeah, I got to go. Go Hawks, baby.